your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna.
Hello, hello, hello. Check we are live. Looks like we are. See my own bloody video again. I'll get this sorted out. Right, what are we doing? We are imaging the Christmas tree cluster and cone nebula. This is the stack that I've managed to image so far over the last couple of nights. So I've just flew to the target, just cleared some trees in my neighbour's garden, and hopefully we are halfway through the first image coming in. Trying to get to my own channel so I can see the video, see the chat. There we go. Right, finally got there. Hi Mark. Technical issues. Anybody else out imaging tonight? Hi TJ's Astro channel. Thank you for dropping by. This is not my first image. This is the final image from the autofocus run. So I'm just waiting for the first 6-minute exposure to come in. This is what I've stacked so far, which is just 18 10-minute exposures. So I'm going to live stack it as I normally do. Over the last 2 nights I've been imaging M33. So I'll finish with that now. It's just 45 10-minute exposures. So I'll be processing that over the next few days. And I thought I'd flick over to probably one of the final nebulas of the season, I think, for me. And then before we move into some more galaxies. Let's see what this first sub comes in like. We're 6 minutes in. Cloudy as usual. Well, we've had an unusual, certainly up in the north. This is the third night on the trot of imaging, and it's clear all night again. So I've even left my scope outside, put the toilet tent over it, so I didn't have to set up again. There was a bit of a snow stroke rain forecast this afternoon, but it passed over and there was no snow. But we're good. Probably only stream for half an hour or so. It's only so much people can take of watching me take images. As ever, if anybody wants to ask any questions about my kit, things that I do, things that I don't do, fire away. Lighting's okay. And this is another session out with my Altair Astro 130 ED, my favourite scope, my Skywatcher Esprit. I look back at when I last used it and it was September last year. And that's got my mono setup on it. So I keep meaning to get it out, but with Galaxy season approaching, I'm probably going to stick with it, the 130 to be honest, so I can take some galaxies that were just a little bit too small for my 100 at 550mm. So yeah, I'm enjoying using it at the moment. It's a big old heavy thing to be lumping out every night, hence why I've left it out for the last few nights. 2 minutes away from that first exposure. This is what we are adding onto the stack, so I am going to change this folder because it's going to be coming into 19. It's going to be coming into here. But may as well set that going now. 1 minute away from that first image. Yes, I mentioned earlier I've been imaging M33, which is here. I've never actually taken a decent image of this before, and I thought before it sort of it's setting quite early in the night now, so I thought this is probably my last opportunity this year, till the back end of this year, to image it. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with this. It's it always looks a difficult target because it to me it always looks quite blurry in the middle from people's images, but I can sort of see why with all the dust lanes. But yeah, I've taken some HA as well tonight just to sort of overlay that on top of it as well. Yeah, it's looking quite nice. That's at a native focal length of 910mm as well, so there's no cropping. So when I saw the framing for it, it was like, oh, that's perfect to get it literally as much as I can into the field of view. So there's the first image. What's HFR come out at? 250, 2.5, not bad. I'm okay with that. So this is a target. I know a lot of people image this before Christmas because it's called the Christmas tree cluster, but again, it's another target I've never imaged before. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that comes out like. We've got that live stack going in to it. So yeah, 19 now in there. Noise evaluation improvement 90%. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm tempted to, I don't know how, I've got a sulfur oxygen filter, dual narrowband sulfur oxygen filter. I don't know whether to, after tonight, for the next session, to spend any time on that. I need to have a look at how much O3 or sulfur there is or isn't in this target. Obviously, it's quite abundant in HA. Yeah, looking quite nice. I don't think theme's the greatest tonight, from what I can gather from just a quick butch out earlier on. But I'll take a clear night with bad seeing over a cloudy night any day. Yeah, when I think, when is this due to go past the meridian? So that's the current framing for it in Nina. So looks like we are hitting the meridian at about in an hour's time, basically. I'll probably put the stream short by then, but I've had no issues with my meridian flips recently at all. I've only ever had one where it went a little bit skew whiff on my old CGX, which again hasn't had any use since last September. And it seemed to start moving the RA axis the wrong way. I don't know why it had been meridian flipping the previous nights absolutely fine, but yeah, not had any issues with meridian flips since then. But I always go out and give it a little bit of eyes on monitor. Literally takes 2 minutes. I'd rather do that than have something start smashing into the tripod legs. Quite chilly as well. What temperature are we on at the moment? It says it's 1 degree. Going down to... Actually, it's not too bad tonight. 1 degree until about midnight, according to my watch, and then 0 degrees after that. So in the UK, we've had it sort of a very chilly minus... Well, certainly was -4 last few nights. And there's a place just up the road from me called Topcliffe, and that was -9 on either Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, quite chilly. Yeah, this as well. This has been imaged as well with the Askar Dual Narrowband Ha03 6nm filter. So I elected to use that over my Altair Dual Narrowband because the Altair, the last time I used it, I had some really bad halos, and it's meant to be, in quotes, halo free. So I thought I'd give this Askar one that I have to send back shortly a go. I did a review of it recently. So I thought, why not, before I have to send it back, give it another outing. I bet the cooler power, yeah, 22%. It's hardly having to breathe to get it down to -10. So I was expecting there's a bit of condensation on the scope and stuff as well when I took the toilet tent off earlier on, but it was absolutely fine. You'll be able to see in the bottom right hand corner on my outdoor cam a nice view of Orion, pretty much over to the right hand side of the frame. I did take some images of Orion a couple of weeks ago, which I do need to process. So yeah, looking good. That was my autofocus before I went live. Not too bad. I had a hyperbolic of 1, which I'm always happy about. Looks fairly even. Nice curve. Let's have a look in the chat as the people drop off and get bored of me talking. Trying to collect some more data on M42, but clouds seem to be coming and going tonight. But as I've not been locked out for 2 months, just nice to get the rig out. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those. I think last summer there was an opportunity just for literally an hour, and I hadn't imaged for ages, and I just wanted to get back out even just for an hour, even though I probably wouldn't create an image from just an hour's worth of data. Just want to make sure that everything's working as normal, and yeah, I can understand that, TJ. It can be frustrating though when the clouds are sort of very intermittent, and you think, oh, I'll take a sub now, and then looks clear. 2 minutes in, clouds roll over, wash the image out a little bit. Guiding state, okay. Not many corrections coming in. fairly well balanced on Decanare at the same error rate, so all good. Yeah, so I'm always excited to process a new target. And I mentioned on one of my other live streams, I want to try and image some targets that I've never imaged before, and there's some common ones in the night sky that I still haven't really taken a picture of. Pleiades M45 is another classic example. I've got some data going on, not tonight, but from late December, early January, that I'm wanting to add to. I know it's a common target, but I just want to get a decent picture of it. And it looks, it's get a lot of data on that, can have a nice finished effect on it. But then I've been sort of cataloguing some lesser known targets that I'm hoping to image. I also want to try the Comet, the C22 ZTF, but right now for me that is I think it's early February before it's cleared my house, because it's currently rising in the north, and where my scope is, I've basically got the house in the way. But I think I checked towards the beginning of Feb. It will be up near the zenith, from what I can see from where Stellarium's showing it as moving. So I'm hoping everybody will have done it by then, because I'm already seeing tons of great images of it. But yeah, I won't give it too much time. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to try and image as well. Hopefully we might get, even if it's just one clear night, when it's going to be visible for me out of the way of the house. I'll take that. Yeah, all looking good, as TJ said. That's been my night. Clouds, no clouds, but the weather patterns will have to change at some time. Yeah, it's super frustrating when it's patchy clouds. So I'm just looking at a weather map of the UK. I can see a massive bank of clouds over northwest area, Liverpool, Manchester. There's some patchy clouds down over sort of Norwich, southeast coast way. Luckily for once, York, which is where I'm based, is crystal clear. Long may it stay that way. I think this is the last clear night this week for me. So, but 3 nights on the trot, pretty unheard of for quite some time. So, yeah, happy days indeed. One thing I really like about the Altair is the rotator. So anybody who's got an Esprit 100 or a 120 or an 80 will know that even though it has a rotator, it's awful. There's no concept of unlocking a screw, rotating the imaging tray and locking it back down. It literally is like it's 2 threads together. You unlock one. It's just it's not good. So being able to frame this exactly how I wanted, I love it. So I am looking at an automatic rotator for the Esprit. So because I've got a Primalucha Lab Arco focuser on there, I'm probably going to go for their... Sorry, I've got the Asato focuser. I'm probably going to go for the Arco rotator. So it's a nice pairing. And there's adapters for the Esprit 100. It's an expensive rotator, though. It's like, I think it's over £1,000 for a rotator. That's for the 3-inch model as well. I'll have to see if I can save some pennies. I definitely wanted to look at getting an automatic rotator for my Esprit. I'm absolutely fine with the manual ones on my 130 and I've got an Askar FRA 300. I don't mind doing manual rotation. I very rarely change targets during the night. Need it to be automated. So once I've set my rotation manually, that will be it for that night. So TJ, I've looked for the C23. Would like to get the Comet, but like yourself, I think I need to wait until early February. Something up in the sky. Yes. Let's have a quick look in Stellarium. Don't want to be on that one. So this has got a custom. There it is. So right now, this is my custom horizon. It's where is it in? Does it put a thing around it? There it is. So for me right now, it doesn't come into view today until just after 4 AM. If I fast forward that to, let's try the 29th and go back. Yeah, so look, fact 28th. Looks like, yeah, for me, it looks like the 25th. I can see it from 9:30 onwards, based on my horizon view. Have a quick go back, see if I can see it any earlier. No. Yeah, so looks like for me, 25th, 9:30. I'll make a note of that so I don't forget, because that literally is when? That's next Wednesday. Guarantee it won't be clear. So we have another imaging, and the H-file's dropped to 2.41. All good stuff. What's the noise valuation now? 92% improvement. I'm liking it. There's a lot of structures in here, so I'm hoping to pull this out, and then most people will show this in a portrait type mode with the cone at the top, so you get the Christmas tree effect. I'll almost certainly do the same. I'm not usually a fan of portrait type images for Astro, but for this one, I think based on its physical properties, it is geared to that. But obviously, there's no upside down or right way in space. It is what it is. But yeah, I think I will go with what everybody else does and rotate it that way when I finish processing it. I've also been keeping an eye on, there's Nina version 3 due, I think, well, there's beta versions of it, and the developers have been asking all the plugin developers to start supporting V3. So I had a quick look at the beta build on a test PC that I've got, and yeah, some interesting new features coming along. Looking forward to seeing. I think, well, I don't know how I've not used Nina now. I come from I used Canon EOS Backyard when I first started. Then went on to APT, and then went on to SGP. But right now, absolutely loving using Nina. It's so straightforward. It's 99% of the time error-free. Don't usually have any issues with it whatsoever. Hopefully they don't break it in version 3, because I would go back to 2.1 if there are some early issues. I keep meaning to use the there's a PixInsight stacking on here, but you have to have PixInsight installed on your imaging machine, and I don't currently do that. The PixInsight here is actually on the PC that I'm sat in front of. And so I copy my files automatically from the Rig Outdoor, this one, over to my indoor one, and then Live Stack that I'm using here just picks up the files as they appear. But I might look into what the live stacking PixInsight, but it will mean me installing a licensed version of PixInsight on my imaging machine. Got 4 people. I think everybody's out imaging tonight in the UK apart from Mark and TJ. I'm assuming you're in the UK, TJ. What time did we say it was in the meridian? Oh, about 22:45, wasn't it? So we are good at the moment. I am seeing some very slight haloing. I don't know if this is reflection or it does look like a halo. Usually, they're normally off-center the halos that I see on my images. So I'll it's not too bad. That is quite a bright star from what I can see on the framing wizard. I'm presuming it's this guy here. So yeah, based on the framing wizard image, it is quite a brighty. Some great structures, this thing. I'm looking forward to pulling out some detail on this. Yeah, I remember, Mark. Yeah, I know. We met at the International Astronomy Show. I do recall. I think you're one of the first people to come up to me, say hello. So, are you going to the PAS? Because I believe the tickets are now on sale in the UK. I saw someone post that the Practical Astronomy Show. I might sort that out next week. I know the tickets are free, but it's more a case of making sure I get some accommodation. I think all of the UK cloud magnets, we ended up staying in the same Kettering Travel Lodge or Travel Inn or Premier. I mean, it was a Premier Inn last year, so yeah, it'd be good to go down as well. No doubt I'll end up spending some money on something. Maybe that's where I can get my rotator. Do a deal, because you normally get about, I think, depending on the vendor, up to 20% off. I think it's usually about 10% off the most of the stalls offer. So getting 10% off, maybe that could be the plan. Oh, you're down in the Jersey Channel Islands. Very nice. That used to be my mum, who's no longer with us. That was one of her favourite holiday destinations, Jersey. So yeah, very nice. Not sure what type of weather you get down there compared to mainland Britain, but I imagine it's not a million miles different just looking now. So yeah, not too bad. I can see those hazy clouds that you're referring to, I think. Oh, we're nearly on the third image of the night, which means we've been streaming for half an hour. Time flies when you're watching someone take images of the night sky. I'm looking forward to processing this as well. I have done a very rough version without last night's stack on, because I imaged some M33 as well last night. I got about another 2 hours on it, so I think I've got about 9 to 10 hours in total. So yeah, I mentioned previously I've sort of set myself a I've set myself a limit of I want to get at least 9 to 10 hours on an image before I decide to cut off and process it. And then I keep setting myself another target of trying to do some crazy 24, 36 hour integrated image, but I never seem to get around to it. I'm always itching that once I've got past my threshold to move on to another target. But maybe one day, if I find something that I want to throw that time into, I'll be a good tagline for a video. I imaged X for 36 hours. If that doesn't get me 200 views, I don't know what would. I've just received a message. I won't read it out. Someone who's watching the live stream, who I know. Oh, right. So, oh, that image has just come in. So, yeah, we've got 21 images in the stack now. Is that noise evaluation hit 100%? No, it's on 95. There's some great gas clouds coming out in the corners as well. This isn't vignetting. This is literally part of, I'm presuming, this nebula. It's certainly dust clouds of some description. Very faintly see them on the Nina screen. I've also got my outdoor camera plugged into Nina as well, so I can actually see that outdoor stream, hopefully. Yeah. From within inside Nina. A great example of why Nina's, I think, taken off his plugins. People can basically, if you've got coding skills, write your own plugin for Nina and then make it available to the community. And one of them is this. It's an RTSP player. So it's a great little feature. And I love these Wise 3 cameras, 50 quid. And yeah, it's speckling, but it literally, it's with no IR on. This is just normal night vision with no infrared. It picks up all sorts of stuff. And it just lets me keep an eye on the scope. Not for people coming along and nicking it, but more for if it starts slewing in a really odd way. So that's the reason I just have that out there like that. Yeah, all looking good. One of those things when imaging is good, I normally just watch TV or play a game. It can be quite, if there's no issues to fix, just sitting and watching images come in can be quite boring. So I do apologise, but if we get some interaction going, we can see if anybody's got any issues. I'm trying to help sort out, more than willing to try. How's that guiding looking? 0.75. Not perfect, but the as you can see from my scope, it's not exactly pointing very high up in terms of elevation. I think whereabouts is the, yeah, it's approaching 46 degrees. It's probably at about 42 at the moment, so quite low in the sky for me. So you'll always find that, well, I always find that guiding across something that's low in the atmosphere, you've got the issue of the atmosphere to get through. So 0.69, I'll take that all day. If I was imaging someone close to the zenith or past 60, 70 degrees, I'd be, normally my guiding drops down to like 0.4, 0.5. When I've got something really highly elevated up. Yeah, looking good. 4 minutes into this exposure. I didn't expect many people to come on, to be honest. It's Thursday night. I know a lot of people in the UK, I saw on the Facebook groups that I'm on, were out imaging tonight. So we have to make the most of these clear nights. Cold, clear nights. And I'm even though it's not good tomorrow night, I'm going to leave my kit out, cover it up again. I don't fancy bringing it in later on. What I'll do is I'll just bring it in at dinner time tomorrow. Unless the weather clears. And let me just check. I don't think it will. I'm pretty sure it's most of the UK is clouded over tomorrow night. Well, actually, well, not for me, but all of Wales is clear and down in Cornwall's clear tomorrow, but sadly not for me. -2 and a lot of clouds. So yeah, I'll cover it over and bring it in tomorrow morning or tomorrow dinner time. One thing I've noticed with Nina is I have my autofocus set for the sequence. I don't use the advanced sequencer at the moment. I've just used the... right now, even though I've used Nina for probably 18 months, I've never needed to use the advanced sequencer. And that's because I don't have a dome, I don't have I don't do multiple targets in the same night, usually. And I never go to sleep and then hope it's all sorted itself out. So anyway, where I was going with this was I have my autofocus set to on start, on temperature change of 5 degrees and HFR of change of 10%. But I have noticed, yeah, it happened last night. I checked the temperature and it definitely hadn't shifted 5 degrees. The HFR was pretty much static. It certainly hadn't shifted by 10%. But in the middle of an imaging run, it just decided to do an autofocus. And I don't know why, I don't know what triggered it. I keep meaning to see if I can see anything in the logs, and hopefully it will tell me what event caused the autofocus. But I don't know if anybody else uses Nina and seen weird autofocus kicking in when you're not expecting it. I mean, 10% of the HFR. Could it have been the HFR? I was keeping a close eye on it, so I don't know if that actually means the HFR from the first image that you took in the sequence, or the HFR of the last image that you took. I suppose it has to be the first image, I guess. But it wasn't a big deal. It only takes about 3 or 4 minutes to autofocus. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it. Ooh, volume's going up 0.82. Don't chase the numbers. We'll let this next image come in, which means we'll have been streaming for 40 minutes. I think we will call it a day after that. I just fancy doing a quick stream, and if anybody jumped on. I also use these live sessions as well, because obviously they're on my YouTube channel. I did start last year to try and record all my sessions. So just as a local video file, which is fairly easy for me to do. Just so I could refer back to them if there was something weird that happened, or there's something later on that I go, why is that happening now? And I do try and do that, and these live sessions do help me as well, because it's just a natural record of what I did this night. So as well as entertaining some of you guys, it's also a benefit for me to review sometimes what happened, or what didn't happen, or if something unexpected happened, I might be able to work out by watching back the video. So we're about 30 seconds away from the 4th image. And this is the current live stack of that image. Instagram, yeah, it's nice exposed on that first quarter. Here it comes. Let's have a look. Now, did you notice that the image shifted ever so slightly? And that's because I am dithering. So as Dylan O'Donnell, I think he coined the phrase, dither or die. Dithering really does help with eliminating some of the noise and smoothing out the imaging post-processing. And it literally takes about 10 seconds for it to dither the image. So it's basically just moved the field of view a few pixels. I think I've got mine set to 10 or 12. There is a calculation you can do. So I dither my images by 10 to 12 pixels. And so if you were to blink test them in PixInsight, you'll see that the image is sort of shuffling around in a, usually in a spiral. So that was the other thing I've set it to. Helps eliminate a lot of the noise when you're post-processing. I say for the time of losing 10 seconds per image, it pays back more than what it costs to do it. And I set that up here. I literally right now I'm dithering every one image, which some people will go, oh my god, why are you doing that? You need to do it every 2 or 3. Old habits die hard and all that. If I was doing like 30-second exposures or 1-minute exposures on something really bright, I would probably dither, you know, every 4 or 5 images. But because there's 10-minute exposures, I do dither every single one. Right, it's 22:25. I'm going to call it a day there. So thank you for someone's just joined who's probably going to be disappointed now. Apologies. Been streaming for 40 minutes. It's a Christmas tree cluster. This is what the current stack looks like. But as ever, thank you for coming along, those people who did. It's always a pleasure to share my imaging sessions. And hopefully, I've got some videos in the pipeline for the main channel coming along soon. So keep your eyes out for those. I'm going to try and make a concerted effort this year to put a lot of content onto my YouTube channel. It's quite difficult with, I obviously have a daytime job as well. So finding the time and effort to do those is challenging, as most YouTubers will attest to. But I am going to try and make an effort. So as ever, I will catch you all next time, guys. Thanks for stopping by.